Hello, welcome to .NET Conf Focus on Maui. I'm David Ortnow, Product Manager. And we're actually here live in the studio with my best friend, partner, Maddie.
Hello, nice to see everybody. Welcome.
We're actually here. Maui all day long.
All day.
It's going to be amazing.
There's an amazing lineup today.
I know. We're going to learn so much about mobile, desktop. We have some product announcements for you today.
Ooh.
It's going to be a full day of awesome stuff.
Hey, Maddie, David. I just want to come by and say good luck today. And I am so excited about shipping .NET Maui.
I think we have a bug. Bug in the shirt. Bug in the shirt, everybody. .NET needs to be at the top. What do you say? Right? Screenshot this, tweet it out, let them know.
Let me know.
Let your feedback be known. It's good to see you, Scott.
Good luck, folks.
See you. Thanks for coming by.
Well, we have a lot of content for you today, so I want to get right into it.
Let's do it.
We've got demos, we've got code. We're probably going to go over, no promises, but let's have some fun. What do you say? All right, so to the slides. We are here today to talk about building mobile and desktop applications with .NET, and we think we've got an awesome, and I've got a clicker, and I'm going to click.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
there we go.
There you
All
go.
right. So, you know, in the world, there are so many desktop devices and mobile devices. Over 1 billion are running Windows 10 and 11. We've got over 4 billion devices running iPhone and Android. And when you look at the market indications and the consumer sector, those numbers are not slowing down. So we as developers want to make sure that we can deliver the best experiences possible for those platforms. And of course, we don't want to sacrifice user experience and being able to reach into all the features that those devices offer just so that we can save on code. So this is why we are shipping .NET Maui. Of course, we GA'd .NET Maui, .NET Multi-Platform App UI back in May with .NET 6 support. And this is how you can build mobile and desktop applications without sacrificing anything on the native platforms. We really focus on the single code base aspect of it. Not so that you are only writing code once, although that's pleasant. You know, it's the dry principle. But because you're then focusing on just your application and your user experiences that you're creating, and you don't have to worry tons about what each platform requires. You know, if Android has a special quirk, if Windows has something that you could take advantage of, but you have to go find it, you know, none of that. We make sure that the best of those things, like that awesome Windows feature, is right there available to you, but you can focus on a single code base. Now, you can have multiple projects, but as far as the actual application, we think this is a great way to go, and you can build awesome applications when you're focused and you're targeting those awesome performant devices that we all want. And I'm running my Mac M1 here today. I'll be showing all of my demos on this. Maddie has her Windows machine, and we'll be showing all of her demos there. So you're going to get to see best of both worlds, best of everything.
Oh, yeah.
And so .NET Maui is in .NET 6. It's part of .NET 6, and that means that all the .NET 6 things that, that you are growing to love with other workloads, you get for mobile and desktop development as well. So that's the latest C#. That's one base class library. You don't have to worry about, well, is this a special mono thing? Is this a special core CLR thing? None of that. You get CLI support. Oh, excuse me, I was so excited. You get CLI support. You have to breathe in between words, don't you?
You might.
But this, hey, if you don't join us for the .NET Community Stand-Up for Maui on a monthly basis, you need to do that because this is what you get.
This is us on our best behavior.
This is us. Yes.
This is good.
True. The community stand-up, we get a little looser. But you know, the latest C# 10 features, which I absolutely love, and I use a ton in the application that we're going to show. Being able to, yeah, all the things. I don't want to steal parts of demos.
I know.
So,
really,
you know,
really.
Right? But you get mobile and desktop, so that means, of course, you get Android, iOS, Mac, and Windows. But we've also added in .NET Maui the ability for this hybrid mode. And this is really exciting because now the Blazor developers are in the party, right?
Oh, yeah.
This means that you can take your Blazor components or your whole application, you can bring it to mobile and desktop, and you also have the same full access to, you know, sensors and all the isolated storage and security features that you would get if you were just building it with native code in .NET MAUI. And so that's a beautiful part about the Blazor hybrid story, and can't emphasize it enough. Maybe we'll show some demos about that. We'll see. And then, of course, productivity. So you already mentioned the single project, but you've also got the hot reloads. You've got the IntelliSense, the IntelliCode. You've got tons of visual diagnostics, which I think Maddie will be showing off here in just a second. Plenty of teasers. And we've got a full day of sessions, so I hope you've looked at the agenda. You've earmarked those that are interesting to you, and you're going to be able to learn a ton. So we're gonna kind of skim over the top and then let everybody go deep dive in a little bit.
You know it. And while you are watching all these amazing sessions today, you can keep refreshing your Visual Studio installer actively, because as we are speaking, the bits of Visual Studio are being built in the cloud. In the cloud, they're happening, so that today you have general availability .NET MAUI tools in Visual Studio. 17.3 on Windows.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
So GA SDK and GA tooling all out there in the release channel
today.
Beautiful.
In soon minutes.
Soon minutes,
Soon minutes.
yes.
Of course, Mac developers, as Dave mentioned, he's all on his Mac today. He built this entire demo app on his Mac. These tools will release in 17.4, but the preview for Visual Studio for Mac is shipping today, so you can still get the latest and greatest there. Amazing. So keep your eye out. A little bit about .NET. I don't know if you recognize that Scott guy who crashed the party a little bit ago. He's been around sometimes.
A little bit.
.NET 6 is the fastest adopted version of .NET ever. Almost twice as fast as the adoption rate of .NET 5, which is super cool. And in November, .NET 7 will ship.
Right.
So we'll see how much faster everyone can adopt that. But .NET MAUI, like Dave said, with his slide with all the boxes, is all built on .NET. So .NET 7, you update to it, that's just the next MAUI. It's all the same thing now.
It is, yeah. The transition for folks from the Xamarin space to the .NET 6 space, it's a larger gap. But you can see with the numbers on the screen what you're getting from this, right? Oh. You're getting more that you can do with it, more workloads, more things, and
lots of performance improvements.
Yes.
So for those of you who are coming from Xamarin, you're going to see great startup gains, just loading and rendering of your pages, all these different things. And if you're new to cross-platform development with .NET, you're just going to be really happy with how fast it is, because it's amazing.
It is.
Charts.
Yes. I love seeing every PR, especially the Jonathan Peppers PRs.
The Peppers PRs?
Hi, Mr. Peppers.
Hi, Mr. Peppers.
Because he's always got all the numbers there, and you can see all the performance improvements. And we're focusing not just on the mobile space, but of course we're bringing that same effort and focus to desktop. Yep. And so we'll be seeing that for Windows and Mac apps soon.
Oh, yeah. So who uses this thing, Dave?
Yeah, so, this is, in case you haven't noticed, we're very passionate about this product. We love using it, but more than that, we love talking to customers and helping customers be successful with it. That's really the core, the essence of what a product manager does. You almost, I don't know if customer manager is really the way to say it, because then it makes it sound like we manage customers.
Customer friends.
But we're super passionate about helping you as developers and as customers be successful with the platform and shaping the product into what you need it to be. So these, there are hundreds of thousands of, I don't have a number, of customers that are using .NET.
Millions.
All across, millions, it has to be.
It is.
And so certainly millions of you developers out there using .NET. And so these are just a selection of a few of the companies that use .NET on a regular basis. And we're really excited to see these companies and others starting to look at .NET MAUI and use .NET MAUI for your applications, whether they're for a single platform or for multi-platform. One of those companies, oh, look at you. You're going to be my.
Well, you clicked yours and not mine.
I know. I know. It's
hard to not be remote anymore. We have to look at the camera.
I was in a meeting the other day.
Oh, no.
I was in a meeting the other day. This is what you get from us. And I was in the back of the room, but there were people in the room, right? It's not a virtual meeting. And I was like, I texted the meeting because I didn't want to interrupt the flow, but
right.
It's the back channel nonsense.
Right.
And I said, how do I mute myself so I can cough? All right. So lots of awesome customers using this. One of those is ProntoPay. So ProntoPay, we've featured them before, and it's a good example of a startup that was looking for a way to get something out the door quickly, that they could iterate on quickly, and use the skill sets that they know, the productivity from Visual Studio that they love, and they used .NET MAUI with the Blazor Hybrid. So very cool story. You can go find this in the stores today. It's a great app. I just did it on. I did it
You
again.
did it again. It's okay.
Why am I even holding this?
We're
Why
learning.
am I holding this? All right. So I should probably still do this.
Yeah.
Controls, component vendors. So these are some of the awesome vendors that are out there today shipping components for .NET MAUI. Progress, Syncfusion, DevExpress, UX Divers, and you can see a whole host of community libraries that are on .NET 6 now, available to you today to be able to use in your applications. And this is just a sampling. So I know that other controls have been coming online, shipping, nougating,
Making their bits through the cloud.
making their way through the nougats
Yeah.
to you in the candy bar of
nougats.
.NET. And so, this is a big theme or a big focus for us right now in this early phase of, we just GA'd MAUI on .NET 6 in May, and now we need the ecosystem is adapting, right? And so libraries are shipping, the Prisms of the world, the MVVMs, Freshes, and things like this. But Shiny's out there now. Skia Sharp has been updated with some really cool things we're going to show. So lots of great stuff happening. If you are finding there's a library that you need that's not there on .NET 6 yet, let the maintainer know. Offer to help. Offer to fund. Anything you can do. But there's also options. You can switch some things out. And now, with the Blazor Hybrid story, and I'll double down on this later, you have all the Blazor components plus all the native components as well.
Oh, yeah.
So your options for additional components in your application just tripled.
Yeah.
It's really, there's so much available to you.
Yeah.
And on that note, we want to say a huge thank you to the community of contributors, those that are reviewing, those that are PRing, those that are participating in live streaming and blogging. Thank you so much for all that you've been doing and continue to do for .NET and for .NET MAUI.
Look
Thank
at
you
all these
very much.
pictures.
I know, right?
Woo! You all are great. Hopefully you can find yourself or some familiar faces from Twitter or whatever, wherever you meet people these days.
Well, now we're meeting people in person, right?
Wow.
All
What?
right.
All right.
It's your turn.
It's my turn.
Yeah,
Let's
do this.
talk about productivity, because that's the big thing today, right? We GA'd MAUI at Build. That was cool. The SDK stuff that Dave and his team, great. You can build the apps. Tooling is where the party happens. And that's the world I live in. And with today's release of Visual Studio, like I said, it's being built as we speak. It's a little early Pacific time, so you'll get it in a bit. The heart of .NET MAUI is developer productivity. That is everything that we think about every day. Whether this is your first or your 5 millionth time opening a MAUI project, there's a whole suite of tooling that exists made to get you building your beautiful and very complex and amazing .NET MAUI apps even faster. Or your super simple apps like mine that just tell me what plants I own. Visual Studio 2022, awesome. You've heard it before if you are part of the .NET community at all. It's 64-bit now. We shipped it last fall. Yeah. Time is irrelevant. The past 2.5 years have meant nothing.
True.
But it's great. And MAUI takes advantage of all the things that you have come to expect from an IDE such as Visual Studio. So you get your intelligent code editing, you get IntelliCode and all the AI-assisted development, live share, all of the different editors for Razor and C# and XAML and CSS and languages. Of course, your rapid iteration, which if you've seen me on any of these .NET confs before, you know I talk about hot reload because it's hot. It's fire emojis everywhere. We'll look at that, don't you worry. And of course, with MAUI, the single project, you can develop for anything from anywhere. So you can be on your PC working on your iOS version of the app. You can be on your Mac working on your Android version. And then, you can develop natively for your Windows machine or for your Mac machine. So you can really travel with just one laptop and one David and build whatever you want.
One of my favorites is the Windows subsystem.
Oh, yes.
For Android.
It's very cool.
Right?
We're not going to take a look at that in this talk.
I know, which is why I wanted to mention it.
Yeah.
Because it is really cool.
It is really cool. So there's a lot of cool things. If someone gave me all the time in the world and there was no David, I could do this for 3 hours at least.
Technically, I think we just keep going until
Yeah, right?
till they
All
send
these
Scott
other
back in
people
and
who
get
spend
us.
all this time preparing their amazing talks. But VS 2022 for Mac, which I know David has been using the preview of very heavily, also totally rebuilt, built on .NET 6 now. So it's running .NET. That's it. UI also rebuilt from the ground up to be native, so it's super fast. I've really been enjoying it. They even did some little things on the team. They moved menus around so that it looks a little bit more like VS Windows, like things are in the same places. But they also respected Mac and what makes Mac so great and so beautiful. And I think it's a really nice balance. And a lot of these tools that you have on Visual Studio for Windows, you're also going to have on Visual Studio for Mac. Many of them are in preview now. Of course, you can also do web development, container development, Blazor, tons of great things on Visual Studio for Mac. It's not just for Maui, mobile, desktop. Yeah. And so before we hop into the demo, here's just a really cool screenshot because we do a lot of things. We target Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, and Mac. I was trying to read it in order, and I think I completely messed it up. But I did it. And it's all from that single project. So let's hop in. When Dave and I were talking about what to demo for this keynote, right? We were like, we could do File New, we could do the weather app, the podcasts app we've shown before. And Dave was like, no, you know what? I'm going to build a new one. And I was like, cool. And so he sent it to me late last week and said, here's the app. So we're going to look at it together because why not? It is called Point of Sale.
Point of Sale.
So I based on talking to you, we do talk occasionally.
Yeah.
I know that this is a point of sale app for servers at a restaurant to be able to go place orders and then on their phones go and check people out, right? So you can pay for your meal. And it's a Maui app. And it kind of looks complicated. At first, I was a little overwhelmed. And then I started thinking to myself, I was like, no, it's just a Maui app. Let's break this down. First and foremost, all your resources are right here. Everything for all 4 of the platforms. And I know that Dave had worked on this explicitly on his Mac, so it was Mac OS, iOS, or Android that he was developing for. So everything he needed, fonts, images, you can see it all in this folder. Cool, pretty easy. I also see you have an app icon in there. That's an SVG. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool. And I can also see what platforms you're targeting, if there's any platform-specific code, which it doesn't. I don't think there is. We could figure it out later. You might show us, but
yes,
you're targeting these 4.
Right.
And the way that you tell Maui that is in your CS proj file here, right here, your target frameworks. So we're taking advantage of .NET multi-targeting. That means that you have one project, and it can go everywhere. And you can pick where it goes with this cute little drop-down, just switching out your framework here. So I can go and I can say, oh, I want to deploy this to an iOS remote simulator, or click a simulator or a device or an Android emulator or my Windows machine locally, all the different options. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here on Android. I've got my emulator set up and running. It's going. Oh.
Nice and fast.
Nice and fast. I was doing this demo prep in the hotel room this morning, and I realized I was not connected to the internet.
Yes.
So when I was Googling everything, nothing was working, and I was like, oh no! Oh, it's just the internet. It's not me. So this is pretty cool. This looks like a list to me of orders that are there, and then you can click into them and see details on them, right? So let's click in. Cool. And so Dave is learning Korean, if you don't know this, and so he's been using this as a way to learn about Korean food, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is a pretty cool app. It's kind of a pain to navigate the code base, and also my emulator's on top. So let's use Live Preview right here. Gasp! And Live Preview basically mirrors wherever the app is running, whether it's a device, an emulator. It will work with your iPhone if you use Hot Restart. Feel free to Google that. We're not going to cover it today. Or search it on the internet with your choice of search engine. But this is really cool because now I can't interact with this, but I can see the app inside the IDE. I can zoom in. I can kind of take a closer look at it. And the first thing I notice on this page is, first of all, I have no idea where you wrote this code. So I'm new to this code base, right? Let's go to my Solution Explorer. I imagine it's somewhere in this pages folder. But you've got other folders, and you've got other views, and it's a lot. So in Live Preview, let's do something easy. Let's change this title color here, right? I'm going to click this little button, select element. I'm going to click on current order. And it is going to take me to where that is defined. Although, hold on. So I can see, Yeah, there we go. It took me to the orders page. That's where it thinks I am. So I'll look in the shell on the side here on the live visual tree, and it looks like I'm in this orders details page, is what it is. Oh, and the screenshot. The tooltip, of course, goes right over everything. So you're doing something interesting here with shell, and I'm sure you'll talk about it a little bit. But just to fill you all in at home, this is the same app, same code base, running on mobile and the other one, desktop.
Desktop or tablet, yep.
But they're different. So you have two shells.
Yes, I do.
And the shell describes the navigation of the app, the whole hierarchy of it. So you have App Shell Mobile, which literally just shows this orders page, which is what's showing up when I click on that. And then you have the regular App Shell, which has a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know what's going on desktop. We'll look at that in a second. But if I look here in my live visual tree, which describes the visual hierarchy of my entire application in one place, I can see that when I navigated to this details page, it added the little detail page in my tree here. So there's something with the shell. Cool. This is not the orders page anymore, but I know I can see you used a vertical stack layout, a collection view, and a grid. And just kind of looking at this UI, this looks like a collection view to me. Maybe the buttons on the bottom are a grid, so I'm going to guess the title is in this vertical stack layout. So I'm going to click the two little arrows there. Click them. And it takes me to where? In the XAML it's defined. It opens the right.
Love it.
I'm also using of course, my colorized tabs by file extension, which is a Visual Studio 2022 feature that's amazing. I was going to have them on the left, but then it makes everything too squished. So yeah, so looks like you have in here current order. It's just the text. So I'll just change this. Let's add a color. Oh, IntelliCode pops right up. It says people who edit labels usually add these things. Pretty good. I'll take it. So I'll say text color. And then I could use any of the I almost said Xamarin Forms. Gasp! Any of the .NET MAUI colors. But instead, I'm sure that you're a great engineer and made styles, a styles.xaml file, and put a bunch of styles in there and resources. So I'm sure you have some defined. I don't know what they're called. So I'm just going to type static resource, and I'm going to let IntelliSense tell me what on earth you've created for me. So these are pulling in from wherever your styles file is. I imagine it's in his resources folder somewhere, right? Pulling all these things in. So I'll scroll. I'll go for primary. Sounds about right. Oh, and it updates. Nice. So XAML Hunt Reload picks up my XAML change, updates it in my running app, updates it in live preview, of course, because it's just a screen mirror of my running app. Calls it a day. So this is not at all what Dave wanted me to work on when he sent me this app. In fact, the one thing he asked me to do two things. The more important thing was run it on Windows and see if it works.
Right.
See if there's anything funky. So let's switch over to Windows. So all you have to do is go to that drop-down, hit F5 or click on it. I like clicking. I know most people are F5 people, but for some reason I like the click.
Well, when you come over to the Mac world, it's Command-Enter.
Oh,
it's just built into my muscle memory, so I don't even, people talk about F5, I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course, you can see the new Git experience popping up while my Windows app is loading, which is very nice. Oh, that's a little smushed, so let's expand it. This looks pretty good. Not too bad.
Ish. It looks ish good.
It looks ish good. Considering you have not opened it on Windows yet,
yes,
I will take that as a win. So let's look in live preview here. Boop. Zoom in, fit width. Yeah, that's a bit better. This line here, I don't really like that. I don't know why it's going through the middle of your thing. Let's zoom in a lot.
That's wrong.
Yeah, so let's take a look. Let's figure out what on earth is going on here. I'm going to hover over it, and with Windows, it highlights the box or whatever this is, the container that is holding this UI element. So I'm going to click on this. It says it's a box view, right? It says it on there. I don't know why I looked at the screen when I'm looking at the screen right here.
Because I'm looking at the screen.
I know.
So I keep drawing your attention that way.
I'm like, what's going on?
It's a beautiful screen. I love this.
It is really nice.
Take this home.
Yeah. Do you think I could fit this in my carry-on bag?
I saw your bag. No, you can't carry this.
Oh, shoot. All right. You've got this box view here. So what's cool is I hit the inspect thing, the select element thing. I clicked on that. It took me to where in the live visual tree and in the code it's all defined. So now I'm all in the same state. There's no like this is here, this is here, this is here. So I can see immediately like this shell is much more complicated. The shell itself is a grid and there's flyouts and there's things, but all I needed to do to find this annoying little line that you screwed up here was click that. So let's scroll over. Vertical options are start.
I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect.
You're not
You know,
perfect.
this happens.
It does happen to the best of us. Vertical options are start, which is one of the ways that you can align things. I don't know if that's right. I'll hit end. I think it's too far. I think if I know you, this is supposed to go directly under them. So let's just do center, bump it up.
Nice.
That was easy.
That's better.
Easy enough.
How much are you going to charge me for that? You going to bill me on the hour? And that was
I
like,
think so.
Visual Studio did most of the work.
I did the thinking. So these features you don't have to know about.
Okay.
You all now know about them. Though. Yeah, and then another thing that you had asked me to do, I believe, was go into the settings page and make this button do something, which I did not, because why would I? Why would I do anything he asked me to do? So currently you click the Manage Categories button and it does nothing. So let's go in here. Let's go find that button, scroll this over, because I'm not going to go figure out how you architected your code.
No.
Click on it. Go to my settings page. I'm going to hide this just so I have room to type. Manage categories, that sounds about right. Doesn't have a click handler or anything on it, so I could do commands. I could use the amazing MVVM Community Toolkit to do smart MVVM things for me. Also, the thing I totally did not show, which I was so excited to show, is that he's using global namespaces for this app.
Oh, yeah.
C#10, baby. Mads is going to talk about it later today. Very exciting. Anyways, I'm going to put a click handler on this. IntelliCode, of course, beautiful, says clicked. That's what I want. IntelliSense.
Don't you need to stop your app first?
Hang on.
What is this?
Please, please.
Okay, please continue.
Just 1 minute. I'm going to create a new event handler. Button clicked, very descriptive. I'm going to go into my code behind, because I don't use MVVM. I do everything in my code behind. And if you don't know what MVVM is, that's totally fine. Our good friend James Montemagno, who's running the tweet board today, has a whole bunch of videos on it. You can figure that out later. I am going to go into this button clicked method that it just created for me. See, it just created it, no authors.
Yes.
I'm going to make it an async, because I know exactly what I want to do with this. And I would like to have a display pop up, display alert, click. And I'm pretty sure it's a three argument thing, so I'm just going to be like, alert, Dave is here, help.
I immediately got worried when you did this. Okay, now I understand.
And what I'm going to do is, I can save because I have the setting turned on to save, but additionally, I could just hit this hot reload button, or Alt F10, right? And what that is doing is taking the C# in this method here and putting it back in my app. It is running it. So, you know, my app's in the same state. I'm on the same page I was on. Nothing scrolled or moved or anything. I'm going to go back into my settings page. Let me save this. Go back in here. It picks this up in IntelliSense. I'm going to hit save. And if everything works perfectly, that is going to show an alert. So I did not stop the app. I did not do anything. IntelliSense just wrote that code for me. Obviously, I don't think you wanted me to make a button that just says help, an alert.
The scope was a little different, I think, when we docked.
Right. But that's okay. That's okay. So that is just a taste of how productive you can be with .NET MAUI and Visual Studio.
I see. I get what you did there.
It's pretty good, right? Pretty good. Nice. And there's a ton more, and like we've both been saying, there are a bajillion sessions today. That's a mathematical number. Showing you all the different ways that people use Visual Studio. This is just how I use it to find my way around someone's very messy code base.
Well, you know, everything's messy when it's not your code.
It's true.
Right? So I love the fact that this is a very real scenario. I mean, we did not sit down. I did not show you I did not explain the code.
He got off the plane yesterday.
Yeah.
And I said, what does this one do? And he's like, that doesn't look right. And I was like, that's a good demo.
But you know, yeah. I mean, this is a very real world situation where you come into a code base you don't know, and the tooling helps you navigate and kind of untangle things for yourself.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think that by the time you're done with this, you'll see that it's a beautiful, beautiful app, beautiful architecture and everything. So it's native also, and I want to spend a little time talking to one of the cameras about native. So what do we mean, what do I mean specifically when I say native? Because native is a term that gets thrown around a lot. It's in product names, it's on blogs, it's on documentation. What do I mean? What I mean is that the technology, the actual language, and everything about the experience, how the button behaves, how the entry behaves, that was designed by the creators for that platform, that's native. Okay? The performance characteristics, sure. The color palette, the design aesthetic, but the controls. And so on the screen here, what you see all the different native platform controls for each of those platforms. And that's what you get with .NET MAUI. If you were to rip the whole thing apart and dissect it and do a CSI thing on it, you would see it's absolutely native. We're not faking anything.
Yeah.
What that means is that when you get a new release of iOS, Mac, Android, whatever, you immediately have access to all of that stuff. We do create the .NET bindings for you, and what a binding basically means is you get to use C#, one language, to talk to any platform. Do you want to write some Java and Kotlin or some C# and, no, not C#, you do want to write C#. Java and Kotlin, Swift, and Objective-C. It's the pairs, it's the twinsies for each platform. You can totally do that, and we are going to make it even easier for you to do .NET in the future.
Yep.
So that's what I mean when I say native. And what are you actually getting in the box? Well, you get MVVM, which is Model View View Model, and you get XAML. You can totally use it. You can go C# only to your heart's content. You can do reactive UI. You got lots of options in terms of how you architect and how you build your applications. But you get all these controls, 50+ controls, all these views. You get, I mentioned all the Blazor components that you basically get these days. We've added lots of new things in .NET MAUI and .NET 6. You've got menu bars. You've got multi-window, which might be the next slide. No, it's not the next slide. But all these controls and layouts, I like to gesture to the screen because it is such a beautiful screen.
It is so beautiful.
And this is my control gallery app. It's up on my GitHub. And this was basically, I just took every single control and iteration of something that I had in the app and threw it on one giant screen, which is a good performance test too, by the way.
Cool.
So you get all of these in the box, but then out of the box, or no, that's out of the box. Well, it was in the box, and now it's out of the box because you're using it. This is going south.
The box is just too confusing.
It's just, you shouldn't really think about the box.
You shouldn't. It's just all there.
It's just there.
But if it's not there,
then you have awesome component vendors. You've got the community that we've already featured and highlighted.
I'm trying to queue up your next slide.
Okay. But we do want to call out, this is really cool. So for desktop development, multi-window is a thing.
This is in the box.
This was never, yeah, this is in the box. So this is not something that was ever a concept that we needed to really worry about on mobile, and eventually something like this came to the iPad. But with desktop, this became important. So one of the things that we did as we refactored and re-architected from Xamarin Forms to .NET MAUI was we introduced this concept of a window, and it's the outer container of your thing. And so now you can pop as many windows as you want. Yeah, it's really exciting. And so we have customers today that are taking advantage of this. Hopefully we can showcase them in the future, but doing some really cool things with that. And then beyond the UI things, you have, what, 60, 70, 80, I don't know, the number keeps growing, non-UI APIs. So these are your sensors, these are connectivity, isolated storage, security. I'm going to show some file system I/O stuff here in just a hot second. So all this stuff, all from C#. When we were talking about the demo and we're like, okay, what would be the most exciting thing to show? Mr. Montemagno says, oh, well, I really want you to show some deep platform stuff. And I looked at all the things I was doing, and I'm like, so many of these things are so easy to do now in MAUI, I don't need to write so much platform code.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Cool. Cool.
So with that, I think it's demo time.
It's demo time.
Demo time. So if we can go to the Mac, please. Thank you. I want to show you the app. Let's go to the app first. So I've got my Mac version, and I've got, Maddie showed you some of this. It looks a little bit better, right, on my version.
Yes.
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 And so I've got tabs here at the top, which aren't tabs, but I'll show you that as how I did that in just a second. You notice that my line lines up much nicer.
Right.
I don't know what was happening on your computer.
I don't know.
So I've got some segments over here. I've got order. So this is that back of the house. This is where the server goes and plugs in some stuff. It could also be repurposed for a, if you ever go into a restaurant and you go up to the checkout and there's a kiosk and you can just place your order. I've also got a dashboard in here. I've got a microchart widget down here for charting, which is awesome. And then I've got a settings panel here, and I've got all of my product management. Something that's cool here is I'm taking advantage of adaptive triggers, and you can see that some UI pops in there. So when I have a wide enough screen, I get some extra real estate. I can put some more controls in there. So adaptive UI, you know, while most phones and tablets and things are fixed size, desktop is not so fixed, right? You've got tons of resolution. People got wide screen monitors and circular monitors and pretty soon triangular monitors. Who knows what's coming?
Is that real?
That's not a product announcement. That is not a thing. And then I've also got the mobile app up and running. So you were showing what you showed, Windows and Android, and so I've got the mobile phone here. So let me show you kind of the whole flow. I don't think you really showed the whole flow. Yeah. So I'm coming here and I see, okay, I've got some people that are ready to pay. So I'm at the table. I've got my handheld, and okay, they ordered a bunch of stuff. Awesome, table 10. Let's go ahead and pay. The bill is $53.47. Got to pick a tip, right?
Ooh.
Got to pick a tip.
It's true.
Unlike the place we went to last night, service was really good, right? The place we went to last night, not so good. Best service
really
ever.
Cranky.
I'm going.
Really cranky.
I'm going best. Not me, the server, right?
You were cranky.
I was cranky.
He was tired.
I was tired. So best service ever. Now I know I'm paying 60. Well, you know, maybe 64. Nah, I mean, might as well go with the best service.
Yeah.
ever.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why not?
So now we're ready to pay. Oh, look at that. Beautiful animation.
Woo!
A little insert, tap, swipe animation. So of course, you know, you can take your, so that's a Lottie animation. And I'm going to show you just how easy that was to add. So I just tapped. Unfortunately, I want to be able to take a signature. I'm going to need your help on this. You didn't do so hot on the alert earlier. So I'm going to give you a task, please.
Okay.
Give me a signature control here.
Okay, I can do that.
Once signed and paid for, I check, no, I don't need a receipt. Don't need to be littering up the world with paper.
Good.
So we're done.
Oh, you should have got your receipt, though, because it's business travel.
Ah, well, you know, it's all digital somewhere.
Oh, no.
It shows up. I used my card. They know who I am. All right, so I want to show you now the code. So this is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So it's the same project, right? So I don't need to give the whole tour of that, but let's kind of start at the beginning.
Okay.
So a Maui app runs through at the Maui program. That like kind of wires everything up and sets the stage for what's going to happen. So we're going to use Maui app, and so it uses app, and I think I can even make this font a little bit bigger. I feel big. I feel bigger.
That was smaller.
All right. So I know. Well, you never remember because they changed the scroll direction years ago. You'd think I'd learned by now.
No.
So I'm using a barcode reader. I'm using the Maui Community Toolkit. I'm using Skia Sharp. So this is a convenient way to use the builder pattern that's common across other .NET workloads. And it's just so easy to do, right? So all you got to do is wire those guys up. And then I configured a couple extra fonts. So I've got some symbol fonts, got some Font Awesome, got a Fabric font in here for some other icons. And then I'm doing a little bit of extra. You know, you showed those platform folders earlier. In many cases, I like to just go ahead and use the ifdefs, these compiler directives here like this, to be able to put some code in here to do what I needed to do. And you didn't even know I did this. But when you open up that Windows app, it centers itself on the screen. So it sizes itself and centers itself on the screen. And this is the Windows-specific code that does this right here. So it looks like it's commented out because I'm currently on Android. This is the like the TFM, Target Framework Moniker Platform Picker. And I don't have Windows as an option because guess what? I'm running on a Mac.
You're on a Mac.
So it'll be colorful on your computer.
It will be. So
there's that. And then I've done something else here. I've got a method called modify entry. And I'm actually not very settled on where to like put this kind of stuff. But everything, all the UI controls in Maui are based on handlers. They're bite-sized pieces that enable you to get to that native layer. So you don't need 2-3 classes like you might have needed in the past. It's just this code. This code right here, those, I don't know, 64 to 12 lines of code.
Wow.
And some of that's compiler directives. That code is modifying the entry handler across 4 platforms: Android, iOS, Mac, and Windows.
And so entry, you mean like just like a text box that I type
into? So it's
into?
the text box. So on your demo, I don't know that anybody noticed this. Anybody who was watching, were you watching?
Watching closely.
She had a bunch of weird underlines and stuff on the entry field.
I did.
And what this control is here, it's actually a border wrapping an icon and an entry field to get the design that my designer wanted, right? So it's great to have those borders and those underlines there if you want to stick with the native platform. Like if you want the platform as it's designed and intended by the gods of the platform,
Right.
then you get that by default out of Maui. You don't need to go do additional effort like you do with other platforms.
Pretty cool.
I was reading a blog recently about, not to be named other platform, like, oh, it was great, but then I had to go do all this extra stuff to get all these other platform features, and I'm like, you totally get that out of the box with Maui. So that's that entry, and that's why I have this code here. So just by doing these simple things, I have, in this case, iOS and Mac Catalyst remove the border style. See if I go to iOS. Now that code is highlighted.
Cool.
So, very cool.
So that's it?
That's all I had to do to get that entry to look the way I wanted it to, and basically kind of just make it naked so that I could paint over it.
Yeah.
Is what I did. So yeah, very cool. So let's kind of step further into the code here. I've got a lot to show. I've got a lot of tabs. So if I go into the app, you noted that I had an app shell for the desktop and for mobile. So let me show you how I did that and why. So firstly, I'll call attention to the user app theme. We do have dark and light modes.
Oh.
But I'm not giving anybody options on this app. I love the way it looks. We're going dark all the way.
Yeah.
Deal.
Deal. Fine by me.
And so all I do here, you set up your main page. That's where you basically tell the app, here's the content that you're going to use.
Right.
So App Shell Mobile is what you get when you are on a phone, whether it's Android or iOS. And App Shell is what you get everywhere else, which is desktop or tablet.
Okay.
And this thing looks great on tablet also. So let's take a look.
And that's it? Deviceinfo.idiom?
That's it.
And it just knows?
It just knows. Well, it knows because I told it.
What if?
So the thing is when you run the app, Maui sets the idiom, right?
Okay.
So it knows what you're running on, what you've compiled for, and therefore what you're running on.
Okay.
So yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. All right, so on Shell, App Shell, so this is my desktop version, and I'm going to focus on the sidebar over here. So it's called a sidebar. I'm calling it a sidebar. It's technically a bunch of flyouts. But you'll notice that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 icons over there and a logo, right? Well, what's happening in the shell? Shell is essentially just the container of your application, and you're going to describe some essential things about the container. You're going to describe what the content page is, that you at least have one, and then you can control the flyout, the navigation bar. You can control templates for your flyouts and your menus. And what I did in this particular case, I do have 3 flyouts, 3 main pages that I've created, but I don't actually want to use the flyout as it was by default.
Okay.
I'm using a new feature, the flyout content template. So what this is it basically takes over the whole flyout. I set a fixed width of 104 because that's the beautiful size that I needed in my design.
Exactly 104.
Exactly 104.
Okay.
For everybody and forever. And then I provide a data template to this flyout content, and I create it all myself. Now, these are all of these icons, and you can see how I can switch between them and the state changes. Those are all radio buttons.
Oh.
And radio button it has the distinct privilege of enabling control templates in the Maui toolkit. So I can completely templatize the radio button, and of course, because they are in a group, only one radio is selected at a time, which makes it a radio button. Anybody ever tried to, did you know where radio button comes from, where the name comes from?
No.
So back in my day,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
when you were in the car,
Woo!
to change the station, you had actual physical buttons to push. And you had to push that button. And you couldn't push more than one at a time. As soon as you push the next one, the other one popped out. That's a radio button, right? Awesome.
Is that really it?
Yes. Are you
All right.
disappointed or, no?
I'm confused.
Come on, Trivial Pursuit.
Keep coming on. I have more things
All
to
right.
show.
You do, yes, yes. I don't know what the clock says, but this is good. So I have templatized all these things. Where is the template, you ask? It's in the resources.
Okay.
So I have defined a control template for menu item. I am using the Visual State Manager to change my borders and my colors, and there's my sidebar. And so as the visual state on the radio button goes from checked to unchecked, I change the design. Very simple and very easy. Here's the layout, and then within here I have the content presenter. So if you're not familiar with control templates, it's definitely worth learning about. Super productive and easy to use here. All right, let's move on. So what's happening on the home page here? So I want to call attention to this. So if you look, I'll go ahead and bring this all the way up. In the upper left-hand corner, I've got the native menu bar, right?
Food.
I have added, ooh, food. It's getting you hungry. I've added a custom menu to this so that I can add products and add product categories from anywhere in my application. And so that is super easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and walk through this flow because this also shows some native file I/O stuff. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Slides in from the side. Did you see my beautiful animation? It was awesome.
Pretty good.
If you didn't see it, so red bean bun, which slightly disappointed that it was not available last night at dinner.
He was cranky. He was cranky at dinner.
I don't know how much it should cost, but I'm just going to make it cost $1. And this is a dessert, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and go to change image. So I've been asked many times since we started shipping desktop, where's your file picker control? You don't need a file picker control. Any control can be a file picker control. So I'm going to hit change image.
Gasp.
And that's going to bring me here. And then I believe on my desktop, how do I get to my desktop? There it is, .NET Conf Maui. Red bean buns, I've got an image, so I'm adding my red bean buns. Boom, boom, slamma-jamma.
That was easy.
There's my picture. So I just accessed the file system, picked an image, and put it on the screen. And now I save this. And now I go to my desserts. There it is. Oh.
And you built this all last week.
I built this like last night.
Oh, no. Amazing.
So these also, by the way, these noodles, rice, appetizers, these tabs up here, also radio buttons.
Oh.
And so you can use the semantic properties if you're concerned about accessibility to declare them as buttons or tabs or whatever you need them to be. So we've got awesome extensions for that.
Cool.
All right. So how did I get the menu up there, you ask? You didn't ask, but I'm going to show you anyway.
Thank you.
So in my content page, you see the content page for the home page, I have these menu bar items. Wouldn't it have been more useful for me to show you all this beforehand? But you got to show off the Visual Studio tools.
Would have been helpful.
So here I have my menu. So I've got that products and I've got the add product, and I can come over here to the add product command, which in my particular case, if I go to add product command in my view model, it's going to use add product. Now you notice these awesome things.
These things.
Meta things. So this is part of the MVVM toolkit, the community toolkit for MVVM.
Okay.
And this basically does code gen to create the commands. In some cases, I've got properties up here. So you see, I don't have to create all that get set and then decide, do I want the backing property? Do I not want the backing property? Blah, blah, blah. And then you get these really cool new features like on category changed. So every time that category changes and you see the list change, that's what does this. This, what, 5 lines of code, 4 lines of code? Shush. Shush.
That's pretty good.
I don't bill by the hour. I bill for value.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, yeah.
All right, so here I'm using the messaging center, and basically it's a message bus. I'm sending a message to my home page and saying, hey, show me the add product screen.
Right.
Super awesome. All right.
Keep chugging.
All right, so we've
got
that add product view. So let's talk a little bit about that file open that I did, that file system stuff. So I got a button down here somewhere, right, that says add image. All right, change image. And that change image, no, I'm scrolling sideways, not opening you, is the change image command. Well, I know that I'm using my add product view model, so let's go there. Nope, add product view model, hello. And here is where I'm going to change the image. All I'm doing is calling this pick and show method, which uses the file picker API. So this is the file picker you've been looking for. It's not a UI element because you can do it on anything.
Right, a button.
I declare what kinds of files I'm looking for. It's, of course, asynchronous, so I need to wait for it and load it up.
Okay.
And that's it. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. And these are all in the box, all these APIs.
And that works for Mac?
Works on Mac, Windows, phone, Android, works everywhere.
Wow.
everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere.
Pretty good.
Settings page. Why did I want to show you the settings page? Oh, my adaptive triggers. It's fine.
We'll come
Visual
back to
State
that.
Manager, adaptive triggers. But I do want to end on this. My Lottie view.
Your Scalati view.
So I bring Skia Sharp and the extension views for Mauian.
What is Skia Sharp?
Skia Sharp. Let me tell you about that. So it's a drawing engine.
Okay.
Skia, it's a cross-platform drawing engine
Okay.
from Google, and Skia Sharp is our binding for it.
Okay.
And so, yeah, in .NET, you can basically draw anything on it. Lottie is an animation spec. It's JSON-based.
Okay.
You can generate it from different tools. And yeah, you can basically just drop it in. All I have to do here is just reference that source, payment2.json, and
What?
we're good to go.
What?
So that's just a few of the things, that this particular app is taking advantage of and doing. I'm excited. I will get this out there on GitHub
Yes.
soonish.
I was going to ask.
You know, I'll clean it up with your feedback.
Right.
Because I think there's a lot of things people can learn from this particular. I had fun building it.
Yeah.
I just touched the mic. I had fun building it, and I was super pleased with how productive I was
Yeah.
with the tooling and everything. So let's go back to the slides. Do you have some slides?
Oh, I have some slides. You know, you asked me to help you, and
Yes.
Skia Sharp sounds like it would actually be really helpful for
It
something
could.
like a signature control, right? Drawing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. We have something very cool in Maui where you can build hybrid applications using Blazor.
What?
Blazor's awesome. We have the Blazor man, Dan Roth, doing a talk today about
Yes.
Maui Blazor Hybrid. But it lets you write full stack web apps with C# instead of JavaScript, which I love. JavaScript causes me stress. It's taken the world by storm, if you haven't heard of it yet. You might have seen a sparkly Blazor with the Visual Studio logo. You know, there's a whole bunch. There's some Blazors. It's pretty cool. But with Blazor, you can author reusable web UI components using C# and HTML and CSS and all those things. And then you can choose to run them on the server or in the browser locally. It's a whole other thing. What's cool with Maui is you can just take your Blazor and put it in your Maui app, just like that. Just kind of boop, with a Blazor web view control. And so what's happening is it's using the native web view. So apps have web views in them. That happens. And the Blazor web view control uses the native one for that platform to render your Blazor. So you don't need the browser. You don't need the internet. So what's cool is if you have a web app and you want to make it more native, you want to use native device functionality or offline stuff or storage or blah, 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 you can just put it in Maui. And all of a sudden your website is a native app.
Love it.
So with Blazor and Blazor Hybrid and Maui and all these things, you can kind of choose your own adventure a little bit. So, you know, this is a cool chart we've started showing where you can really talk about the reach. You know, web is ubiquitous, right? Web is everywhere, so you can put it everywhere. But you can also go purely native using the twinsies, as you called them.
Twinsies.
Kotlin and Java, Objective-C and Swift. Or you can meet somewhere in the middle using Maui, Blazor, or a combo of both. And with Blazor Hybrid with Maui, or .NET Maui Blazor Hybrid, Maui, Blamaui, as we briefly called it, which did not go past the PR machine, you can choose how much Blazor and how much Maui you want to use. So you can take your Blazor app and just bloop, drop it into a Maui app and call it a day. You can also do what I'm going to do, which is just use one little bit of Blazor in your app because you don't want to figure out how Skia works and write a signature control.
And here comes the world's fastest demo.
Here comes the world's fastest demo. I'm going to stop this. Should have done that earlier. We're going to take a quick peek. It's 9:53 Pacific. We have plenty of time. I don't know what you're talking about. In my Solution Explorer here, you already added the things I need for this to be a Blazor Hybrid app, which is pretty helpful. Basically, it's this main page.razor and this www root stuff. So main page is saying, when you go to the main Razor thing, you want to show this main layout. So looks like that's in the shared. Let's go. Check that out, main layout.razor. And this is all I had to do to insert a signature component. And I will pull it up so you can actually see what on earth I'm talking about. Food. Look at that launch screen shared across all the platforms. So this is after the pay flow, go through, best service ever, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, Cash App, that's new.
You click the Cash App.
Oh, you've changed everything. Oh, hold on. Go back. I'm using
Just exit. You're fine.
a licensed. I'm using one of our third-party control vendors. I found it online. I found the community version, and I pulled it in, and I said, I'm going to use the SF signature control. Right here, some HTML, a div, main, and then right here in my Razor code is some C# that just says, on save, await the signature. That's it.
So how do you write on this thing?
With my finger? Like, you mean like, oh, like that?
What?
What? So
With
that's
your
it.
finger on your
That's a
screen.
web view. And then where I called that from Maui is
Uh-huh.
in the handhelds pages. I went into signature page, which you had nicely named and placed for me, and then left it blank. And all I did was add this Blazor web view with my host page, makes type local main, that's my root component. That's it. So I pulled in the Syncfusion control, SF, and stuck it in my Maui here. And now all of a sudden I have all of the components of the world, of all of our control vendors.
Love it.
Third party, paid for, free, open source, whatever it is. All those things right in my Maui app.
And this is why I don't pay you by the hour.
Right.
Because that didn't take very long.
It didn't take
All
very
right,
long.
we've got a couple more slides to go. So I want to give you a quick note about the .NET 7 roadmap. So we've shown you all the cool things you have today, and you're totally going to be playing with, right? So what about .NET 7? What's coming up next? Well, we're really focused on taking our desktop to the next level and making improvements and a big step forward there. So we're adding context menus, tooltips, right-click gestures, hover gestures. We'll see what we can do about customizations in the title bar space, and several other things. On the platform side, for our twinsies, what can we do to make it easier so you don't have to do type bindings and C# things that are really complex? Makes my head hurt.
Yep.
And then on mobile, we're giving you maps. So as you can see, we've got some screenshots here. Stuff's coming together. So I want to also mention quickly about what our release schedule is, what support looks like, and things like that moving forward. So of course, .NET MAUI ships in .NET 6. And so what that means is that in .NET 7, guess what? You get another MAUI. In .NET 8, what are you getting?
Another Maui?
Another MAUI. So we will ship every .NET. Okay?
That's pretty
but
cool.
there's a little thing people need to be aware of about .NET MAUI. We have external dependencies, right? So when Apple ships a new Xcode, when Google ships a new Android, when Windows ships a new Windows, like these are not things we necessarily have any control over. And so we need the ability as an optional workload in the .NET installer to be able to ship on a separate cadence when needed, right? So when the new Xcode goes GA, when the new Android goes GA, we can still continue to ship and service that for you. And then every major version of MAUI will receive patches for an additional 6 months. Why? Because that's kind of the cadence you get from Apple and from Google, and this is something that's important to our customers. And this level of support is really unmatched anywhere. And a quick note about Xamarin. When we get asked all the time, well, how quickly do I need to move? When is Xamarin going to stop being supported, et cetera, et cetera? We are going to ship another version of iOS, the Xcode SDKs. We will ship also our last version of Android on Xamarin. And so we are looking at an update to our support policy that will state by May of 2024, that's the end of support. It's just one date. That's all you need to worry about. But look, that's plenty of time. That's .NET 6, .NET 7. That's halfway into .NET 8 for you to move your code forward. It's not a code rewrite.
No.
It is an upgrade process, but you get the latest C#. You get all the performance improvements. You get full support. You get security fixes all along the way. And the one thing that if you heard nothing else from this crazy, rather busy but beautiful slide is that there are no gaps.
No gaps.
No gaps in coverage. So this is unparalleled in the industry. Nobody else has this level of support, this quality of support. So I hope everybody recognizes that. Yeah. This is awesome what Microsoft's able to do for us.
And there's more to come on upgrading.
Yeah.
We'll have more info about how easy that is in the coming months.
So if I want to get started today, what can I do? Go to these pages, refresh them, hit them, download the things, play with them. And
let us know what you think.
Let us know. We're going to be around all day. We'll be hanging out with the other presenters, some in studio, some virtual. We'll be keeping James company on the tweet board. tweet it out. Let us know what you think. And yes,
we want to hear from you. This is a QR code that works. There's a survey, so let us know what you're thinking. We're going to pass it back over to the incomparable James Montemagno, who's going to talk to you about some go back?
Yeah.
Go forward. That's what I thought.
Go
See, he's
forward.
talking to me he's over there. We're in a studio.
Well, he was pointing that way. I was thinking this
He's
way.
going to give you some more details on some things that I will breeze through quickly based on his frantic hand waving. Say hi, James. Say hi, everybody.
everyone.
He's got a Hawaiian shirt on.
What?
There's plenty of things. That is way too subdued for a Hawaiian shirt. There's a bunch of things going on in the .NET MAUI world because everyone is so excited about it. There's the .NET MAUI coding challenges, and we'll continue to bring these up throughout the rest of the day, so don't freak out that I'm going to go through these kind of quick. There's the Learn Live module thing. Is it a module? TV? About building apps with MAUI. Very exciting. Of course, .NET Conf could not be brought to you without not only all of our amazing sponsors that are on this slide and are also raffling off swag bags, but of course the studio crew who has been dealing with our antics the past couple days. So thank you all, everybody, for making this come to life. And there's a magic tweet board that you just got a sneak peek of. If you tweet with hashtag .NETConf, it's going to show up on that tweet board, and James is going to have to read it and maybe like completely pretend he didn't see it, or remove it, or bring it up and show it to the rest of the world. So, James, thank you everybody for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day.